Yes, Fambulem, we are live. We are live. You see, every time you go live, or you rape on this game here or this business here, you feel very good because electronics, nothing we can feel you. Fambulem don't begin for join. So I bring massive greetings to una, warm greetings to with viewership, fans, sympathizers, and enemies as well. Fambulem, this now the TNN TV, then and now Media Empire. Today on the 14th of February 2023. Can I use this opportunity for extend Valentine celebration and then one then we they celebrate Valentine, which is a good thing for celebrating a different state. You can go on for go understand the origin of Valentine, and the origin should not put you off because holidays such as Christmas, they get different origin, but people then decide, say, well, this is the time we're going to use for celebrate this. And that's exactly what the case is. So anyway, I want to bring massive greetings to Una again once more from the TNN TV Media Empire. Today, Valentine Day, the 14th of February 2023. Me when they talk to Una, now Una host and presenter, Prince Emil Chroma. Very interesting times. So maybe we go get a monologue, depending if we get a guest, but we'll explain shortly. So I advise you, please don't touch that dial.
Yeah, what's thy name?
Agencies.
Right, Fambulem, once more, I bring massive greetings to Una from the TNN TV Media Empire. Today, now the 14th of February 2023, today, now Valentine Day. But of course, when you new upon the business, I know they say Valentine, not essential, not significant, not important. It is. And it depends to who the celebrants them. Today, now the main day for Valentine, and a lot of people are celebrating it. Last week, I attended the old Mbo Boys School Association, OBA, as they call them. I attended an event, massive event. Enjoy myself fabulously as usual as I can do because me not possible have been enjoy myself wonderfully. Met some great friends, both in the now and the past. And the event was well organized, not crowded per se, but for one full with dignitaries. And like I say again, good music, good DJing, good food. My God, I enjoy the food so much. And I don't know who that cater for that food day, but the food was so much. The rice, I think the fried rice. But this is not a place for talk about that. I think I've paid the homage day already. As usual, as you can go live, you can get call and we not get anything for you with the platform. But just a quick one again. As una can see, this is the TNN Media Empire. Me na Prince Emil Chroma. And today we're supposed to forget Dr. Richard Conte. We may not have him. We may not have him because why? While Dr. Richard Conte being keen on this interview, of course, Nami proposed the interview to Ram. Let's set the ball clear. But he be also keen about this interview. Again, Dr. Richard Conte is a friend of this platform. He's always appeared when necessary for appearing on this platform. And he's one of the favorites of this platform. All the viewers, them love him. The last video where we do, it amount to thousands and thousands. And not even they talk about the one where we break up. Thousands, yeah, it amounted to. So yes, so today is supposed to appear, but we began for delay the program because of the Champions League. There were a series of huge matches, and upon the behest of many fans of the platform, which we saw necessary, because in the end, we began for make the decision. We decided, say, well, yes, we extend the time from the time when the matches will be ending. Because when they talk about European elite club them playing, and most of us are tied to football. Even Mr. Sevinger for watch part of the football, I come on walk, stop now one of my favorite joints, watch a few of them, and I think say we get Dr. Richard Conte. Okay, we get Dr. Richard Conte, which is brilliant stuff. Maybe we'll get for real loop again. We'll get for real loop. Why would they give Dr. Richard Conte a chance? Why would they give Dr. Richard Conte a chance for let he adjust in video? Just don't do them so Dr. Richard Conte go to while they make the commentary, but you are not live, sir. Because we not put you live yet, but hopefully you will adjust your video in the background. But family like I've been say, we got Dr. Richard Conte, a massive fan favorite na this particular platform. A man that we've come to, respect in the sense that every time when we call him, okay, Dr. Richard Conte always changing videos. Oh, now somebody else. Let me just remove this person quickly. So Dr. Richard Conte is prepared to take the interview as agreed. So I want to let you know that. During the conduct of this program here tonight, we expect Fambulem, a short program, about an hour. We go beg Dr. Richard Conte for Brian come back because the developments are many and we're not able to catch up with all. And because for many other reasons, we are fast spent into the time.
Oh, I should not go to the program.
Okay. Let me just move Dr. Richard quickly. Okay, Dr. Richard, you need for mute your video while you're talking at the background, sir, to Fambulem, because everything is being picked up. You are live, sir. So I just want to let you know that, and I will formally introduce you. Thank you very much. So as soon as I can see that was Dr. Richard Conte. He's appeared, and we want to say thanks and appreciation to Ram because he's a fan favorite of this platform. What's a fan favorite? I mean, every time he appears, there are thousands of people who are going to watch this video. And with the hope, say, with the few of whom we don't sign on, we approach the number 50. Of course, it should have been at 8 o'clock. And social media, people can get different places and go watch. But finally, the man himself is here. So please do not allow we help for share. George Orwell, many thanks and greetings to you. I don't need to tell you if you will help to share as well. Delwyn Thomas, of course, Delwyn Thomas from Blackfriars, London. We suppose Delwyn has shifted, your residence probably for tonight or the week. Maybe it's down. The kids are on halftime, I believe. So maybe they're holidaying in London. But please help us to share if you will. But again, like I say, let we help for shape this so other people can hear it. So let me bring Dr. Conte come on quickly because we don't want to waste time with this program. We really don't want to waste time with this program. Dr. Conte, if you're ready, we are ready for you, sir, because I see you pay attention somewhere else. So if you're ready, let us know because we are ready. Lamin Denke, obviously, if you help us to share this broadcast, please. Like I say again, with the approach 50, not too bad a number owing to what we've been going through, but I know say the number will increase and we can help the number for increase. So we don't lost Dr. Conte again. We've lost him. We've lost Dr. Conte. But notwithstanding, let us see whether I'm able to push on with the program. Let me see whether I'm able to push on with the program. Yep. Can I push on with the program? Yes, certainly I can push on with the program. So Fambulem again. This is not the then and now TV media empire, and this is not the hub of the conversation. You see what I want to remind Fambulem is like mass, a stage where if you want to talk, and I'm not a science student, so I'm going to be careful what I say, how I say regarding anything scientific. Critical mass stage where you don't reach that level, where you will get for, okay, Dr. Conteh is back. Thank you very much for that. Let me just establish audio contact. Dr. Conteh, do you hear me, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very, very well. So again, we miss you a few times. So if you just stay in the background for 1 or 2 minutes, we'll bring you come on quickly. Like I mean, say again, Fambulem, Dr. Conteh is one of the fans' favorites. Sorry for repeating myself because we lost him twice, but now he's back. And we know saying a man we can keep up with the interviews them. Once he say we take an interview, he will take it because why? There will be no other reason other than he's got a message. Whether you agree with the message or not, it's a different thing, but he's got a message for the Sierra Leonean people. So on behalf of the Then and Now TV Media Empire platform, we get one of our fan favorites, Dr. Richard Conteh. We don't reach a critical mass stage now, the situation in our country. Una know say every 5 years we can get election. The last election cycle, the All People's Congress, who was in power for shortly over 10 years, was removed from power. We all know the story now, so no need for that go over. But every government is afforded the opportunity of ruling that country for 5 years before going again to the electorate for ask them whether they are interested in them policies, them platform them, then developmental orientation and goals for put them back into power. Such is that time that is approaching soon. But coming to that point in time, what we will see is a lot of things ongoing. In other words, an opposition we're supposed to put up a formidable opposition to the ruling party. Remember, for beat the incumbent, it can be difficult. But we see the opposition, they go through real hassle. But again, if we now look at the title of this program, we said APC, when the opposition party has shifted gear. That gear, they were not shift. Now, 2023, then they focus on, we want to see how effective, how serious, how cogent, how tangible that shifting of that gear they is. For help we for understand this is fan favorite of the then and now. And we must commend Dr. Richard Conteh because every time we ask for an interview, Dr. Richard Conteh is always there to grant this interview. So we want to say thank you. Dr. Conteh, welcome to the TNN for multiple times. And we are thankful, and I believe say fans, viewers, them around the globe are really thankful, sir. Welcome.
Yeah, thank you very much, Prince. Now, always a pleasure for me for come on this program. I look forward to a very helpful discussion this evening.
Which is definitely waiting the fans then going to look up for tonight. And again, once more, we are very thankful. I just want to go quickly to the title of the program, which is in recent, Boku things don't happen for the past 4 years, a little over 4 years. We don't say election they approach, but we know the situation of your party, the All People's Congress. We will come to that shortly, but if we can just go to the title of this particular broadcast, which is the APC has shifted gear. What do you mean by this in terms of what happened recently, in terms of party activities, owing to what is coming or supposed for come? Dr. Conte, if I can ask you this, what in this shifting of gear mean, even though we don't say now in terms of 2023, and if not in terms of 2023, how serious are your bids or you bid for 2023? And they talk about you as an individual and they talk about you as the party. You know, as a representative of the party against another foe, which happens for being the incumbent. How serious will APC people and Tekuna at this point in time going to 2023?
Thank you very much, Prince. I don't know what you mean by APC does shift gears now.
Okay,
because
Dr. Conte, Let's broke that down quickly, sir. When I say shift gears, all I mean, with all waiting done they happen, we see the APC, and you can tell me whether I am correct or not. They seem for them they come together. Remember, there was a period of serious division and hesitation on the part of supporters and people. Here the members say, can the APC make it to this election? So what I mean, don't shift gear. Recently, we see a number of elections taking place. And both now the UK, when a serious region, now 6 region, which is something that you might be interested in if you don't already get interest in them. And both at home as well with the lower level elections, which is a statement of intent, Dr. Conte. I hope I make myself clear, sir. Now that I mean by shifting gears in preparation for the major battle to come.
Well, now a process the APC party will go through. Before now in the old constitution, now be selection. The big one, then they can't no more, them sit down, they say 90s. All man falla. All man to the line. But now in 2022, we adopt a new constitution we call for elections. Naturally, now it take time to make people then get into the groove for accept the new reality. So that's now the issue. On the other hand, waiting they appear like problems in the APC, really not just a battle for power. And we say then the fight for power, you always see different sides, and all man they try for present in your manifesto or in your position or your campaign platform and try for get people there for series where they for support up against whoever else they vie for the same office. So me not see too much of a problem inside APC party. The problem now that some people no want for accept the reality, say democracy is here and that the will of the people again for stand. They still believe say they can manipulate the process. They still believe say they can dictate the direction of people. They still believe say they can get for think for people how they get for vote, but they don't get for work. The members of the APC know exactly what they want. They know the type of leader where they want for lead them in the next elections, and they know say if they get for win, then they get forget the right person, the right leadership, a leadership where we bring everybody together, make we work towards a common goal. They know that, and so no amount of manipulation will sway the people. They are going to convention on Friday, and on Sunday they go elect Dr. Richard Conte as the flag bearer for the All People's Congress Party.
This is what I think say the fans then like about Dr. Conte. The oozing confidence, about what eventually is going to happen. But on a more serious note, Dr. Conte, you make, some statement there in which there are people, and supposedly the big one, we know say, way democracy affect the people, some people then go fight back, and we know the kind of people. But you say some people don't want this democracy for take place now, the APC. And this most likely might be decision makers them of some kind high level. If this is the case, Dr. Conte, then I mean the APC is still in trouble, because how can you make gains in ways going forward if there is resistance from the top, and certainly some people then are still called the shots?
The will of the people will prevail eventually. And the members of the APC, they go vote on the 19th, and they go vote Dr. Richard Conte as flag bearer for the All People's Congress Party.
So, Dr. Conte, how do they facilitate the process? Because I believe the APC, the party, and its hierarchy, both former and now, that the construct down there, I believe say they form, and again, a stand to be corrected. There is this resistance. We see names then we come out quite recently. And some of them, let's be straightforward, Dr. Conte, belong to the old school. So are you implying, that old school they're redundant and they're not get much of a bearing on the outcome of waiting will come after Sunday?
I know say the ITGC and the TIIEMC, now they then give the responsibility for superintend this process. I also know say at every stage we receive a number of petitions where they suggest say there were discrepancies, there were anomalies. I know say the PPRC intervened on a number of occasions on some of the issues them and make attempts for make they address them. But I know say they not succeed fully. I know say if there is any challenge where the APC get now it got to do with how they deal with the numerous people, the large number of people who feel disenfranchised by some of the decisions where the ITGC and the TIIEMC take. That notwithstanding, me believe say the APC people we don't emerge as delegates, we get for go to the convention for elect a flag bearer and other national officers for we party, go put the party first, go put Sierra Leone first, and they go do the right thing, and they go elect the most competent and qualified person we don't demonstrate say it can provide what the party need now for go against the SLPP. And I'm confident that we will come out of McKinney an even more united party, and we will go head on into the elections in June and win.
So, Dr. Conte, again, it's an issue of confidence, but let me separate perception, from reality, sir. And I understand your position. But again, you go agree with me, say, in your contention for this flag bearership, you go contenders them who are equally capable. I cannot say by myself now, say probably better than you are, but I want to put them on par. Why you continue for things, say, you not the man, and una all don't serve, the record is out there. And if I can call a few names where we go talk about in this particular program, you got Dr. Wilson's Samura Kamara, and you get people like Dr. Almami Petito, and then you get people like Dr. Kaifala Mara, and a few others. Okay, you all have served, and when a public record is there, what can distinguish you from these others? Because you talk about public performance in the past, the people that already know. But these are people that have already equally performed, sir. If you know where I'm coming from, why make you think say you stand up above them? And I talk about policy wise. If you can make that clear for me, please.
Yeah, thank you very much. We are talking here about elections. We are talking here about who that were able to lead the party to elections and win. So therefore, we need somebody we don't demonstrate over time. For say he gets the capacity for mobilize the party for go against the SLPP and win. In 2007, I've been head the collation center, and I've been succeed for make APC produce the results within 48 hours and make it impossible for SLPP for manipulate the results. Since 2018, I don't demonstrate say for every by-election, I lead the charge for the APC against the SLPP. And in all the elections, we either win or we make significant gains in terms of votes even in the strongholds of the SLPP. So, waiting they set me apart from colleagues are the following. One, me na the only flag bearer aspirant we go to all critical by-elections in this country. For represent me party, for defend me party, for organize the party, for make we pose a very formidable challenge to the SLPP. Two, me na the only flag bearer aspirant we throughout this period from 2018 to now, we don't go on radio and on television for take on the ruling party on critical issues, whether it is about elections, whether it's about census, whether it's about the NCRE, whether it's about this COI, or whether it's about just governance issues we get for border on the economy, petroleum pricing, etc. And me don't always come on television or on radio for articulate the party in position. So these things set me apart. For all the other issues in terms of qualification, experience, and what have you, I believe so we're all equal. But when it comes to these issues, I'm set apart. Me are also the person where we lost elections in 2018. Me are the only flag bearer aspirant we go all over this country for talk to party people, pacify them, make them know say somebody cares, make them know say the party cares, and energize the party again for make we able now to pose a formidable challenge. We will take on the SLPP in by-elections and we perform extremely well. Me are the only person we don't do that. So I'm set apart when it comes to those issues. And it is those issues we're very critical for the elections which will come on 24th June. And therefore, because these things set me apart, I believe say it will give me an advantage when the people are going to take their decision on whether will lead them into the elections in 2020 on 24th
So let me
of June.
talk about those accomplishments and achievements a little bit, Dr. Conte. Obviously, you're making a case as to why you should be the man when it comes to the election of a flag bearer shipser. The ruling party, and forgive me because we get for inflow in out of the ruling party, your party in governance, and your party after an election. So there are a few things, and we get like 1 hour because I don't want to take you time much. I need for bring you back on another day. And USA we go day by the time we bring you come back because this is a critical stage. You don't reach critical mass. But as you they say, you're not the right man and you take on the government at some point. What's important to people like us here, where the moderate programs of this kind, is the time factor. Because a lot of other candidates of your kind who are aspiring for a similar position like you are, will make the same, your claim. But the time is very, very important. And what do I mean by this, Dr. Conte? For 3 years, 4 years, the SLPP has been trying to claim the upper ground on your party, a party that you were very much a part of, a structure of. To the point today, as I talk to you, sir, they are saying, first, nobody agree. The argument was it's unfair for compare 4 years to 10 years plus, which makes a lot of sense. It's not impossible in terms of development. But your position and where you hold in government were very, very critical, Dr. Conte. So therefore, you're not person will understand the development then where the All People's Congress, your party, carry out. And at the same time, by virtue of your stature, you know the development then where the current government don't carry out. Before I go to my next question, is there an equivalence between the two, 4 years and 11 years, development of the 4 years and development of the 10 plus years?
We not even want for compare 4 years and 11 years. We want for compare the first 5 years of SLPP to the first 5 years of APC.
So tell us about the first 5 years of the APC and the first 5 years of this government then.
APC inherits a country way dark, no light. The capital city was dark. In 100 days, we light up the city. APC inherits a city with very bad roads. In the first term of APC, we fix the roads. And we embark on a massive infrastructure drive all over this country. We tar all the district headquarters and regional headquarter towns all over this country. We provide electricity to all district headquarter towns. We increased actually the power, the generated power supply from less than 10 megawatts, where we inherit in 2007, to well over 300 megawatts by the end of the first term. We also improve on the healthcare service provision in terms of the number of beds were available. We increased them significantly across the country. And even in the education sector, we significantly improve that sector and create more opportunities for students. We government in the first term, we pay for all students when they go university. Everybody, apart from the granting aid where we offer, government will pay close to 80% of fees for everybody. We get virtually fee-free for up to Beke. We pay all exam fees for everybody. We introduced the free healthcare program for children under 5, for lactating mothers and the elderly, and it worked effectively. All of this in our first term. We improve significantly upon the security situation of the country, and we make the country one of the most secure, one of the most peaceful countries, and one country in which they see policeman na street a whole gun. A country in which the president they drive himself around the country. They go with anti-aircraft missiles as if they go to war against his citizens. It was a very peaceful country, and the president in movement will be an indicator of that. No killings in the first term. We all know the killings will don't take place. We all know the insecurity, state of insecurity will take place all over the country. We all know how this country full of people carrying guns all over the place. And we know, apart from the projects that we left, where they're complete, some still ongoing, you can hardly identify one project when they write the proposal, they raise the money, they start the project, and they finish them in 5 years. I'll be curious for them to count how many.
Dr. Conte, the point where, I get many questions again for you, sir, but the point where you just raised, you speak exactly to the direction USA I want for go. The reason why I say so is what you just cite is so critical, because now there is a beginning of a misinformation, if you will like, or disinformation based on what you just say. In other words, 10 years of your government and you held very critical positions in which you know about the things where you just talk about, and you know what's in a development, you know what's in a contract, you know what's in, in an infrastructure, and how the negotiation takes place and how it is carried out. But people are trying to lay claims to that. And in other words, taking the credit away from you. When I say you, I mean in plural, capital Y, sir. And if you can break that down to us, so maybe Fambule go get for understand. In other words, it boil back down to the question I ask you. People and they try for say now that the 4 years is more developmental than your own 4 years, or 5 years. 5 years is more developmental. A lot of people don't agree with this, but perception is being shaped on this basis. So if you can make it clear, sir, waiting at development,
I think
and how you go about to negotiate these things.
I just explain. I tell you what we do in 5 years, and I tell you what they not do in 5 years.
Yeah.
And so you for able to compare the two and see the marked difference. And then we talk about the second term of APC, and all of this happened during a period where for the 2 years we get austerity. We also succeed for grow the economy, attract investors, and make Sierra Leone, by the end of the first 5 years, one of the fastest growing economies in the world. We also succeed by the end of the first 5 years for make Sierra Leone the 6th most improved country in the world for ease of doing business, which means we set in place a structure for able to attract investors into the country, and we negotiate the right type of contracts. We ensure say the country generates sufficient resources. We help for grow the economy to the level where we get them. We make Sierra Leone one of the most peaceful countries, and we make Sierra Leone one of the countries in which investors, development partners, and everybody, they feel at ease for come and go. That, regrettably, is not the case under this current government.
Yes, Dr. Conte. Many thanks for that, sir. Again, I shall say Fambulengo understand the reason why I ask you this. It's a critical reason why I ask you this. Okay. Because, like I say again, perception is being shaped, and disinformation, misinformation. The more you say something, and people then begin forget to believe that. So you're not possibly being under a government, and you understand these things, and you don't in a critical position.
You know, and the reason why states the way things the way I do them. You know, when you have to own a project, take for example, you have to own.
This is exactly why I asked the question, Dr. Conte, because there's something happening, sir.
When you have to own, for example, the 3 bridges projects. They talk about the Mabam Bridge, Mabile Bridge, etc. Yes, those roads. If you have to claim them, show me how you initiate the project. Good. You develop them, you mobilize the resources. What thing we find most unfortunate now that they come and relaunch projects where we be already launched, just for give the semblance that it is their project. And regrettably, my brother, you know they run a government based upon propaganda. Because the truth, they catch up with you. And that's not precisely what this SLPP government they try for do. They want to run a government based on propaganda. They inherit a country with a price of fuel was 6,500 leos to the liter. Now, the price of fuel now 21,500. The old Leon. More than triple the price. And in 10 years plus, the change in the price of fuel in 10 years for APC, more than 3,000. In their own 4 years, the change is over 14,000. That is 15,000. That is very significant. When the handover in 2007, the price of a bag of rice was under 200,000. The price of a bag of rice now is over 600,000. Sadly, there is no corresponding increase in salaries for able to compensate for this devaluation. And so waiting they happen now that they increase the burden, the poverty, the suffering on the people. No wonder they say the ground dry.
Yeah, okay, Dr. Conte. What I want to let you address as well, if you can, sir, is yes, these things where you say they are quite true. But if we juxtapose the position, let's say SLPP was then you, and you are then SLPP, it would have been the same. In other words, there are market forces where they play out at this particular point in time. Or would you say no? And if you say no, how would you have arrest, or how if you don't arrest this situation, yeah, for make a minimal for you people, them, not for feel the burden or they fall below the poverty belt, sir?
Thank you very much. I was Minister of Trade and Industry. And during my time, the price of rice, that be one use them for kick way out of power. The price of rice within the space of 6 months, it go from about 110, 120,000, then shoot them up to about 180,000. What I do are the following. One, I summon all the people who they sell rice, who they import rice, at my office. I say, all my way you come with your last invoice for the rest where you buy. We come, all my car with the invoice on what it cost them for land the rice in Sierra Leone and what it cost them for get the rice out of the pot and into the shop. As you done with there, I say, let's calculate. When we calculate, we find out, say, the price for a bag of rice not supposed to exceed 130,000. Now, say, well, why when they sell 180? Then they will answer me. I say, well, can we take it back to where it should be? And they say, okay, sir. So there and then we negotiated, and then SSF now issue a press release for bring the price of the rice down to 135,000 from 180,000. That is intervention by a meaningful government. When the price of fuel will get out of control, we get a pricing formula. As Minister of Trade, the first line of action where I go into the formula, I say, let's forego all of our taxes, monies that they accrue to government, just for keep the price, so we subsidized. But when we come under pressure from the IMF and World Bank for say we for lift subsidies, and the Minister of Finance don't go sign an agreement with the World Bank for say we go remove all subsidies, I come as a Minister of Trade and Industry, I say, yes, I agree, we have signed, but we not go just remove subsidies overnight and transfer the burden to people. So what I do? I introduce a two-tier pricing formula. Luckily at the time, we will get mining companies, big businesses, embassies, where they consume over 70% of the fuel in this country. The rest of mankind, they consume less than 30% of the fuel. So with the two-tier pricing formula where I introduce, I go back into the pricing formula and reintroduce all the taxes will be done with. So the rest of mankind, they still buy the fuel at 4,500, when the mining companies and embassies and big businesses, they buy them at 5,400. So with that intervention, we succeed for stabilize the price of fuel for the rest of mankind, whilst the mining companies, we stop for subsidize them, then do a full pass through, because we not be see any reason why we for continue for subsidize mining companies when they can take minerals away. We also get a situation wherein brewery, for example, come to me as Minister of Trade. They tell me, say, then they run at a loss because they therefore import some of the ingredients. So that's okay. What do we for do? Then they say, well, the law don't they allow them for use anything else other than the imported goods. So what can we do? I say, is there anything we want to go locally we can use for produce una beer without compromising quality? They say yes. I say, we say struggle. I say, fine. So I do the local content policy, where give them the right for use up to 10% of local ingredients for produce the beer. Because of that, they cut down on the cost of production significantly. The farmers of Shogun make money, and they move from a net loss institution to a profit-making institution. The same thing happened for flour mill. They come to me, they say that they run at a loss. For over a decade, they run at a loss consistently. Through my local content policy, we allow them for use 10% of cassava for make their flour not compromising quality. They move from a net loss institution to a profit-making institution. Cement factory, Leosen, also come to me. Then get a similar problem. In their own case, they had two issues. One was that they not been hooked them to the grid, and two, the cost of importing the ingredients for make cement was too high. To local content policy, we allow them for use granite for be part of the ingredients for make the cement, and we also allow them for get hooked to the national grid. Through that intervention, they significantly cut down the cost of production, and for the first time ever in the history of Sierra Leone, they reduced the price of cement at that time from 40,000 a bag to 37,000 a bag. So basically what I try to say now is that there are measures where a responsible government will understand waiting it mean for manage an economy. There are steps you can take for help for address issues. And so these are some of the things where I believe say SLPP is supposed to do. If you look at the price of fuel in this country, it has nothing to do with the flat price, international price of oil. It has nothing to do with it. Rather, it has to do with their inability to manage the economy, their inability to stabilize the value of the leone. And guess why? They're not able to stabilize the value of the leone because, one, they don't block all the sources of foreign currency through their own bad policies. Investors are not coming in. The deals they are signing are bad. They're not in our interest. The few things they export are never repatriated. The monies are not repatriated. And then most of the big people, the way they are appointed to government, they all get their families abroad. So any small leons where they get, then they convert them to foreign currency, either for exporter in pounds to their families in England or in dollars to their families in America. They spend an obscene amount of money on international travels. And all of that now costs in dollars. So they put a whole lot of pressure on the leone, on the demand for dollar. And it's a demand and supply factor as the effect price. So we see the value of the dollar, they increase because of the high demand for the dollar, and the value of the leone, they depreciate by the day because there are no exports to back up the leone.
Dr. Conte, that's much said there. And I get a question for ask you. I mean, this conversation today, the direction where you go with them, this is the exact direction I believe say the people they want for a year. But with what you just say within the last 30 seconds or 45 seconds, it's like this government, the initiation of whatever policy that they carry out economically and financially is reckless. Dr. Conte, you hear me, sir?
I hear you, yes. You say.
I mean, it was a question.
It's the management of the economy. You say they're reckless.
Yeah, so it was a question to you. It's not me saying that. It's a question based on your analysis and waiting, I look at the context in terms of what you say. So
me not use the word reckless. I don't use the word reckless.
Yeah, I know you get a choice
but
of words.
I would rather say they not they adopt the appropriate policies. Then believe say if they want for make money, therefore increase taxes. May not believe say you get for increase taxes for make money. In fact, to the contrary, I believe say if you want to make more money, you for reduce the taxes and able to attract more businesses in, and maybe business they make money, then you tax the profit and you make more money.
So, but why they
excuse me,
seem for they get
excuse
this?
me,
Why they seem for they get this
excuse me,
wrong? Because
excuse me,
you know the
what we supposed for do and what we go do when we come back, we go broaden the tax base.
No, Dr. Conte, we can't do that. Waiting una go do and waiting your administration will do for broad.
No, I don't like for hang me answer them. I want for land.
Okay,
I my
carry
land.
on, sir.
You go ask you next question. I like my land, but if I hang out, me not fine.
Okay,
we
please do, sir.
The
Sorry.
tax base for capture the over 80% of the business people within in the informal sector, for bring them into the formal sector and gradually get them to pay taxes. In that way, we go. The other thing where they do, where they make that they mess up the economy big time, that the wage bill. They increase the wage bill from 160 billion at the time where we hand over to them per month. Now it's over 350 billion. And there's no corresponding increase in revenue for able to compensate for that. So, and these are the current expenses. They continue for camp. They also significantly increase the cost of running the embassies. And they increase the number of embassies. They not get any correspondent increase in revenue. So even for your private life, if you just they increase your expenses, you know they generate the revenue for pay for that, what you expect? You permanently they in deficit. Now the dilemma where would they now?
Absolutely, that will be an established science. And even though you refuse to use the word reckless, that's what it would sound like. And many studies have proven that this approach is kind of reckless. If you spend waiting you know to get, of course, there's going to be a problem there. If you balloon the wage bill, of course, there's going to be a problem there because you know they get the money where you spend. The basic economy, are they work? Now, my household is. If what are the spending they come in, I don't know how to call them by economy. Anyway, Dr. Conte, we go come back to that, and this is exactly where I want to forget you, and you are actually addressing these issues. Before I come back to you personally on your approach and your campaign and policies them in terms of governance and government and the havoc where you get for be the top man, flag bearer for change with people them. You know, your direction where they go in terms of poverty. I want to bring back the Mother Bio government, you know, and you sphere of conversation we have today. And I want to take you back to the president's inauguration speech. There were a few key moments there that were captured, and it sounds so profound, Dr. Conte. I will be a president for all Sierra Leonean. And I go ask you, what do you think about that statement 4 years ago as opposed to now? Another point the president make, or points that the president make, is like, now 3 things that now you want for attend to, or now you want for attack. Attack in the sense you want for address them. There would be the issue of poverty. There would be the issue of discipline. And the third one, maybe it may come to my head soon, but these were the 3 things them where the president promised.
Free education.
Sorry, sir, say that again.
Free education.
Yes, exactly, Dr. Conteh. And you are a man that have been in for as long as I can remember. And these are things the way you understand. And you belong to the opposition anyway. So this are campaign points them for you, although not to me they say that. But I wonder what you view them in terms of what the president said 4 years ago. The fight against poverty. Where are our people in terms of poverty? Free education, maybe a little case can be made there, but I'm sure not with you because you are also an academic and you've been in that sphere of influence and an educator and a government minister for that matter. And then, you know, you had the fight against poverty. Who's are with people in there, Dr. I call you Kande, Dr. Conte?
Yeah, make I address the first issue. You say the president say ain't gonna be a president for all.
Yes, sir.
You know, but I should say they also watch an interview where they grant them, where they talk about the division in the country.
Say colonial people them.
And the answer where he gave now that not to instart for divide the country, which means he acknowledge, say he divide the country. So, but not to
That
instart
was
for
not
divide.
very presidential.
Now, the colonial plan that they divide the country into provinces. He said then get Temne line, then get Mende line, so not to divide the country. And sadly, somebody will say he can't be president for all. Now him preside over the mass sackings of people all over the country, and for no other reason other than the fact that they are not SLPP, they don't have the right type of names and surnames, or they don't come from one part of the country or the other. That they not to characteristics of a president where they be a president for all, I believe. Now on the issue of poverty, I think waiting they don't succeed for do now just the opposite of waiting somebody where they fight poverty. They've made our people more poor. They've made our people to suffer more. A friend of mine meet with one man na law court. Then get to a discussion about the problems. This man say, when APC they left in 2017 and 2018, in Bidegi in West 40,000 leons na money for plazas for chop money 40,000.
Yeah.
He said, but now 5 years down the road, it they give in worth 300,000 and no they do. And then if you look at this change from 40 to 300, it very like which percentage than they what in 800%? Almost 800%.
Yeah.
Change.
That's over twice the figure.
Close to 800%. So you will really see say this is the type of damage where they don't cause for the average Sierra Leonean, because that is even for somebody who able to afford the 300. What about the person they afford? When APC been there in power, they with the minimum wage of 600, you can buy 3 bags of rice. Now your house. Under SLPP, with the same minimum wage of 600, you cannot buy 1 bag. You go for fence side for top and up. If this is how you fight poverty, then I wonder what you go do when you fight poverty. They say that they bring about discipline. And their interpretation of discipline now that when people get their generator, una one go take her, they not agree, una they care go anti-aircraft missiles, una go wage war upon them and kill them. Because una say when they demonstrate for the machine, they are unruly. So for discipline them and for kill them. When people they na Pademba Road prison, they get small skirmish or whatever the issue is. People where they in detention under lock and key. The way for discipline there, now for send armed people for go open fire indiscriminately and kill dozens. So the way for fight discipline, now when they say an election, for people then grab like the August 10 for demonstrate for whatever they demonstrate for, the way for instill discipline, now for open fire on the people and kill them, now for go take people from the comfort of their homes, pull an ado and kill them, now for go 150 miles away from the location of the incident and go look at a defenseless civilian and shoot them and kill her in cold blood, and you don't even get the courtesy for allowing family the chance for give them their loved one a befitting funeral. If that is how you instill discipline, that I wonder what not instilling discipline would mean. Free education, I no one talk. I just want to refer you to the beginning and how they behave a few weeks ago na Atuga Stadium when they asked about free education. You know, it's really free because now Free education means you no need for putting for certain subjects again for sit-was. You dey get result. So really free. You no need for putting, say you want to do biology and physics or biology or chemistry, because when the results carry, they give you grade anyway, free. That is free education. Where you cannot come and say you are introducing free education, where you go bring in more picking them into the school system. You not do anything about the facilities in the schools. You not do anything about the quality and number of teachers in the classrooms. You not do anything about the teaching and learning materials. You not do even anything about the type of curriculum we're appropriate for our times. If this is how you implement free education, then I wonder what non-free education system would mean.
Yeah.
Waiting we as a government go do now for continue from Musa will be the start. I'll tell you earlier on, say for education, we get free education at the primary school. The secondary school, we get a partial free education. We pay all exam fees, and at the university level, we pay the fees for everybody up to 80%, and on top of that, we offer granting aid. On top of that, all girls when they study the sciences, they get automatic granting aid. On top of that, all physically challenged, when they go university, they get free education. Fee-free system at the schools. Where do we go in addition to that? Now, for actually implement the student loan scheme. To be very frank with you, may not believe in the so-called what do they do, granting aid. I don't believe in them because it is segregate. Now only a few privileged ones for get her and they go benefit from her. When they will not get her, and then parents and family they will afford, they get for drop out of school. We are going to introduce a system where they ensure say anybody will meet the entry requirements, not to the how they compromise for take substandard people and we get 4 level medical degree because they say free education. No. It is 5 subjects, including English and a science subject. On top of that, there are also departmental requirements who get for respect. Now, quality education. So we take higher standards. The best performing students, that they get the best privileges. So when you enter university, if your parents cannot pay for you upfront, we are going to make money available in the commercial banks. We're going to enter into an agreement with the commercial banks where we will get money as we will post as a guarantee, and then they will give these loans out to deserving students, and then they will be bonded so that upon graduation, you will get for serve the country for a number of years. And for every year where you serve, you get a credit. And for every month, then we cut small thing for payback the loan where you get. But we will do as such that you not go feel the pinch because you for still able to live a decent life. Me come from very poor background. Me the day where my younger brother before joining me at university, my parents do not be getting money. Papa been get for good fence side for trust. Every day, that side of my papa where they come out all day for good fence side for trust, you know they get. Where they come in the evening, very morose, almost in tears. My dad did that for over a month, they spend money for trust until the last day when we forgo now he able to get the money for trust. When we daddy finally give me the money that night for let we go Najala, he burst into tears, he cried. He said, now he does he say, if he not be there alive, we not be for land book. A Richard Conteh presidency will not allow another father for cry the way my daddy been cry.
Good.
A Richard Conteh presidency will not allow anybody for drop out of college when he get the grades and he intelligent because he no get money. Money not for be an impediment for anybody for actualize in fullest potentials.
Thank you, Dr. Conte. And let me just go back on that. And the reason I think say why you be fan favorites on this particular platform is like you speak to these issues. And when you say, hey, Richard, I remember we asked you direct questions a few times where we don't host you, and you answer the questions directly. You don't answer politically, because normally you can put on the political cap and decide for answer a different way, but you answer straightforward. And I want to push on some of the issue that we ask, which you have addressed. But again, Dr. Conte, the same President Bio, it tell the Sierra Leonean people and say it don't fulfill all of his manifesto promises. And now manifesto promises, then what I read largely. I can say I don't think so, but of course the question is being posed to you, then I answer. And then he also say, when a reporter, I think that was an international reporter, asked him about in people and feel towards them at a time when many presidents and then they travel, or people and they travel, in difficult period when money could have been saved, which appear like fiscal, negligence and etc. He intimated, and they talk about the president of the republic, the fountain of honor. He say, I will continue to fly. And there's also the third part, and they ask you them in three forms, which is, he also, not on the first occasion, on two occasions, I can name them, or I'm sure you know them, when he refer to a large section of the Sierra Leonean people them as terrorists. Care for address that, sir? Or those?
Two are captured, the issue about the flying and the issue about the terrorists. On the issue about the flying, I think you're unfortunate. I think that statement is a very unfortunate statement. And I think say maybe the Minister of Finance not able get the guts for really sit the president down and really explain to him the implications of the huge costs where they incur in travels.
So again, I will beg you permission. I want to let you hold your thoughts there. You will continue, but it's quite necessary because you have been a man who don't serve in a government before. When there were critical issues and challenging issues, did you ever had the chance when you and Anes Koroma disagreed as a government minister and your policy run contrary to what the president they think, for let you tell the president, say, no, Mr. President, I don't agree?
My policy not go run contrary to the president because the president dictates policy. My appointments now for help the president for actualizing vision. However, there were a number of times where I not agree with the president in position on issues. And in a very respectful way, I disagreed. But at the end of the day, Mr. President, wait he said that ain't for happen. But yes, I disagreed with him on a few occasions, and where we disagreed, I come with convincing arguments. Some of the arguments I won, some I did not. But one good thing is that in hindsight, I think say in self-realize say some of the positions I held were right, where we did not agree. The president say he don't accomplish the third issue. He don't accomplish all in goals. I don't know which goals. Maybe he not even know what today's manifesto. Maybe he not even taking time for really read a manifesto and set against what he actually accomplished. Ideally, in ministers them, in technocrats, in staff, the advisors in the State House, suppose for the do an analysis. When we've been there in government, we get the strategy and policy unit, and we get the performance management and service delivery directorate. We they do stock takes. We do stock takes, on a bi-weekly basis at the level of the Statute and Policy Unit, the SPU. We do stock takes on a monthly basis at my level as Chief of Staff. And we do stock takes at the quarterly level at the level of the President. And since as Chief of Staff, I've been get oversight over all the operations of government, before the President, they come for can sit for doing stock takes with all the key line ministries and departments. I get a responsibility for sitting down and brief them about what he don't achieve and what he will not achieve it. So through that, the President go know what they happen, and if he go any side, he go talk from an informed point of view. The issue again where the President refer to in people as terrorists is really unfortunate. Again, you see, some of these, just now, if one make I use the word reckless, I refuse. Because I know the weight where the use of such a word they carry. So in the same way, if you really understand what the word terrorist mean, and when you use them against you people in current international diplomatic parlance, I don't think so you go use them.
Yeah.
So it was really unfortunate. But I make Mr. President no say the citizens of Sierra Leone are not terrorists. The members of the APC are not terrorists. The people there with their massacre, na Makeni, na Pademba Road, na Lunsar, and other parts of the country, we are not terrorists. Thank you.
Yes, again, Fambulem, just a quick reminder as we go to a short break, we talk to none other but fan favorite of the day and now. We get over 130 people watching. Of course, by virtue of we fan base and people that way they follow we. It's a small number, but at the same time, we're not going to describe it as trifle. We appreciate you now. But if we can make an attempt for double this number, that will be good, because what we talk about is the future of Sierra Leone and waiting with the advice, and me as the host of this particular program, and there is more to come. At the advice on enough for touch the dial. I am Prince Emil Chroma. Today now the 14th of February 2023. This now the TNN Media Empire and now Valentine's Day. Don't touch the dial. And again, on this day, we the host none other but Dr. Richard Conte. He's a man not known for sitting on the fence. And let's be honest. He's a man not known for sitting on the fence. Not in ordinary way they decorate. Every time we call on him, he's ready to come. There is no fixed script for saying that this we can talk about. He's open to everything. And this is why the conversations are almost all the time interesting. And now that big thing can go viral. Dr. Conte, you aspire obviously for being a flag bearer of the party. I just want to bring you come back home because we drifted away a little bit, which was necessary. Will understand, because even your campaign, these are the things that you're going to be talking about. But within the campaign, you're going to be contesting, and I mentioned that in the first few minutes of the program, against other powerful people that will get equal policies, probably not equal as yours, better than yours, lesser than yours, but you're going to go up against them anyway if it's not happening already. One of such person is Dr. Samora Wilson Kamara, who seems to be the favorite. And I just to say this, I'm not sure myself, but from which I pick up on social media, it seems to be the favorite. Before I ask you any further question on that, do you share that view with me? Not from a political sense of I don't know how to call them, not from a political sense, Dr. Conteh, but from a realistic perspective, Dr. Conteh versus Dr. Kamara. Where are we?
Richard Conteh is going to win on the 19th of February.
Absolutely, Doctor. And I enjoy the confidence. But as they say, one of fans' favorite, You know, we platform, yes, you are fan favorite. I can say that for sure. We don't try for bring Dr. Samura. Hopefully we'll get him, and we'll try for pursue you as well for make sure say that happen. It's been a little bit difficult, but Dr. Samura get issues of his own, you know. And of course, as an opponent, you will like for play on that. And I want to let you address that directly. Dr. Samura versus Dr. Conte. This not to a child's play. Of course, we can come up and just say, when I'm eager for win, you know, when did they come? Can you give us, you know, a comparative analysis between two doctors, people that will don't contribute immensely, hugely to the progressive view of Sierra Leone, infrastructural, developmental goals of Sierra Leone? Two people, but one of them obviously will prevail. But between the two of you, other than just saying you're going to prevail, let's have a candid conversation between you, of course, Dr. Samoa no day now, but we know in profile as opposed to Dr. Conte.
Make I disappoint you on this one.
love you, brother.
I know they compare myself with Dr. Samura Kamara. He was my boss, and I respect him. My own position now that we are going through a democratic process. The delegates, I repeat, the delegates are going to vote. My prayer now that we will all get to the hall. Then go allow a level playing field. And they go allow the delegates for vote. And they will count the votes and they'll announce the results. I will take an interview with you after the 19th. And I will tell you, say, I told you.
Okay. Yes, and that will be the finest moment because I told you so. And not go based on the basis of facts because you've already admitted, say, he was your boss. And not being your boss means, say, he be more senior than you in terms of accomplishments and achievements. Because somebody can be my boss, but can come, you know, here for past them. But in politics, Dr. Conteh, something when you go know far more than I do, it's like, of course, you talk about the delegates. What will they prefer? And why do you think they will prefer Dr. Conteh? This is what I'm trying to get out of you, sir.
I think I don't answer this question before. But I will repeat my answer again. Then go prefer a Dr. Richard Conteh because Dr. Richard Conteh don't demonstrate a capacity for able to work with others. Part of the reason why we lost 2018 now because the other aspirants not be able to work together with what we win. Or no effort was even made sufficiently for reach out to the others. You know, for loss, he had to. And when post he lost, he vexed so. And especially the way the loss happened. Somebody will not even contest. And I can't win. It's painful, where other people they don't spend their money. This person not spend 1 cent. You not tell one person say I want. He can't win. It's painful. So at that time, the person will win so for be magnanimous in victory and go the extra mile for embrace the others instead of taking a victory lap. So that one was a big issue. So this time, me, Richard Conteh, don't demonstrate, say, I can work with my colleagues. I can bring my colleagues together and we can work towards a common goal, which is forget victory for the APC. We need somebody who understand about elections. And not if we just talk and say no about elections. If we don't demonstrate over the years, we don't demonstrate over the last 15 to 16, 17 years. From 2007, before that, we get into active politics in Sierra Leone. For say, I know about elections. And since 2018, when we lost, every by-election, I don't demonstrate. And I believe, say, the members of the APC, they know, say, the character, the traits, where are display, are the type of traits where APC go need. this election where they come, especially for an election where we will not get enough time. So you need somebody where no waiting for do under those circumstances. We also need somebody where not going to be a risk. Somebody not going to be a risk to the party. So we get that
Dr.
Richard Conte will never be a risk to APC because my hands are clean.
Which implies that some people are a risk, and it will look, you're like it's real. The only thing in this case now is like Dr. Conte, they talk about a small boys, and I don't mean in an offensive way. It means that part of the hierarchy, some of them are a risk, which leads me to my next question. Dr. Samora Kamara, of course, we see certificates don't come up from police, say it clear and what have you, but at the same time, with the say case they against them and etc. Dr. Conte, what in the Constitution say, because you are a man well read, you are an academic, if you get issues with probity, I won't call them probity, morality, and you've been held, into account or book, can you go on for stand for public position?
Okay, make a start first for explain this issue about a police clearance.
Yes, please.
Sierra Leone are the English law now, and there is this presumption of innocence until you are proven guilty, until you are convicted in a competent court of law. So until you are convicted, an indictment alone not to make you a criminal. So therefore, if you apply for a police clearance after you have been indicted, you can still be issued a police clearance. A police clearance is not a court judgment. All the police clearance they say now that as at the time where they issue the police clearance, you not get any criminal record where they go use for say you're not a convicted criminal. You are not a convicted criminal.
Dr. Conte, just for the benefit of time, in terms of what you say, if I understand them well, and for making clear to the public. So a police clearance has been issued to a potential flag bearer of the All People's Congress. But that in itself not clear and say, they not go hold them, we go, you make them not possible for let it stand for the position where you want to stand for. Because eventually you get case in a court. Will that be correct? Sir?
if you allow me for land, it go fine. So I don't
just the benefit of time, but I think it's very important. So go ahead.
If you allow me for continue, we go save time.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
So that is the police clearance. The law of Sierra Leone say, for make you become a presidential candidate, you for qualify first to be a member of parliament. But for waiting to disqualify you, now the most important thing is that if you are convicted of any criminal offense where they border on fraud, then you no go qualify for run for president.
So again, you therefore forgive me. I will give you the chance for let you broken down, but I need for understand, and the fans they need for understand that for become a president of the Republic of Sierra Leone, you care for be qualify for be a member of parliament. Did I read that right, sir?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yes.
So has there been any case since that law day in place for let somebody will not qualify for be a member of parliament to have become a president of Sierra Leone?
I'm not aware.
You're not aware, so which means because you are well informed, say this not ever happened. But in the case of Dr. Samora Kamara, there are question marks and pock marks all over the place.
Well, now, so you say, wait till me say,
Dr. Conte, you're really political. But okay, the floor is yours, sir. Carry on.
Wait till me say that if they find you guilty of a criminal offense where they border on fraud, it disqualify you for being a president. I don't know the fine details of Dr. Samura in case. Me not a lawyer. But I know say ACC be indicted and the matter then a court. And it border on a transaction, I understand we get for do the New York Chancery building. So I dey pray, say it will be vindicated. That will be my prayer. But if for any reason he is found guilty in a competent court of law, it will compromise in qualification for be a flag bearer for the APC.
Okay. Yeah, but Dr. Conte, I just put this to you quickly. Your ambitions are rising high. They rise high, sir. And if possible, you go up against, get issues, you go help for dig the pit for them. And let we go to the biblical case of Joseph. I'm not saying that this is what you are doing now.
My prayer is that will not happen. You know, when you go for Champions League final, you know they pray say that team they playing go crash. So they know kind of feel for can't play against. That's unfair. Me confident, say I can beat anybody at the polls on the 19th of February, or if it not happen, whenever it happen, me confident say I dey beat anybody on the first ballot.
Yeah, but Dr. Conte, this now politics, and the prayers, the analogy where we make, it's largely personal. It's inward, because of course, if it's outward, it will cause an outrage because you want the destruction of a potential enemy.
So if you know say that is the case, why you push me in that direction?
This is what I like. This is what. Okay, so let's move on. We'll leave that for public. We will leave that for public consumption. Dr. Conte. Let me leave that for public consumption.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very
much. Obviously, prayers will be offered for the vindication of Dr. Samura in whatever case
I join in those prayers.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go back again to the All People's Congress, Dr. Conte. And this is critical for most of the people that will listen now and go listen then. And that informed to the title of this particular program. And you asked the question rightfully so. And I think on the flyer I said "do or die," which was an hyperbole. It was it wasn't in a literal sense, do or die 2023. But it's a serious election. You don't address most of these things, despite all the things that we APC, they kind of go through. And it's obvious that you don't throw your weight out there, and there are others. Dr. Mara, for example, on declares the landscape not fair, and it's not fair. I haven't gone through deeply into that, but this is a statement that he made because everything where he say, because the fact is I supported him in 2018. So most questions of in kind or issues can be directed at me. But I stand somewhere where they try to do a professional job, and this is what it is. So the landscape is not fair. Is that something you agree with? And if you agree with that, why would you agree?
I think the process where we don't go through so far enough here. I go share the views of Mara. It has not been free, it has not been fair, it has not been transparent, it has not been credible. And then they undermine the whole process, and I not think it's very helpful for we party. But my own view, now that notwithstanding, I still get confidence in the delegates where they don't emerge out of this flawed process. And me no say, when they vote on the 19th or whenever the voting will take place, they will elect Dr. Richard Conte as a flag bearer for the APC.
So Dr. Conte, I'll be hypothetical here for a second, if you will permit me to. So when that vote shall have been casted, and Dr. Conte not turn out for be the one, God forbid, of course, because you are, gone in for be the winner, and somebody else emerge for be the winner, will you extend an olive branch? Will there be a peace pipe, here for going forward and uniting the party?
Are they on record as saying that if after a free, fair, transparent, and credible process, the delegates at the NDC elect somebody other than me as the flag bearer, me go be the first person we go grab and congratulate the person and throw me support fully for that person.
That's fair. That's fair play. And I think I don't hold you for more than the time we are bargaining for. So let's see whether I'm able to wrap up with 1 or 2, 3 quick questions, which I suppose I can always ask you and they hesitate. In terms of time factor, Dr. Conte, there are many people who are saying that the APC is way behind in terms of time factor, the court case, and then the lower level and other, elections. I guess somebody where they can talk about the APC elections, lower level and district and whatever elections we call them on this Saturday or Sunday. But this process is ongoing. And also, Dr. Conte, constitutionally speaking, there are things we seem for the BN, where they lag BN, sir. In other words, there was a midterm census, and that midterm census was supposed to tally with the voter registration. On top of that, even though we don't get a clarity on that, 250,000 people are potentially being wiped off the voter register. And the significance, the interesting part about this, Dr. Conte, is these people happen to be your people. And I say your people because the side where you come from in terms of politically speaking, demographically speaking, these are the people that have been taken off. Does it make any difference to you? Does that concern you? Would you like to address that, sir?
When you realize APC lost the last elections by less than 100,000, naturally 250,000 would be very worrisome. And when it comes to the presidential election, especially the runoff, now first past the post, which means you can win by 1 vote. So if you can win by 1 vote, then 250,000 is very significant.
Okay. If you can win by 1 vote. The PR system, quickly, there was much ado about this PR system. Eventually, it seems like this is what is going to be used. Before I ask me a question, as per your understanding, sir, from a layman understanding, this has been adopted. Is that true, Dr. Conte?
Yes.
So if it's eventually used, to whose advantage?
It will be used.
To whose advantage it is?
Media on record are saying that SLPP go regret why they ever introduced PR.
Why?
Because they miscalculate the demographics of Sierra Leone. They miscalculate the resolve of the Sierra Leoneans. And me believe this PR system will turn out to be a disaster for the SLPP.
So this, again, is a question to you, can be interpreted as some kind of a victory in the next elections.
Well, I hope you understand, the presidential election will still be on the first past the post.
Right.
The mayoral and the council chairman will also be on first past the post. Now, only the councillors and the president, now then they go on the PR system. So, therefore, it will not affect who be the presidency, but it will affect the parliament. And SLPP then do this primarily because they believe, based upon their own permutations and based upon the statistics from the last elections, then believe say, then go still get 95% voter turnout in the Southeast. And if they get 95%, and if they believe say APC go still they score 3% in the Southeast, we go make APC now qualify for get a single seat. And so then believe say they will get all the seats in the Southeast. And then when it come to the Northwest, they will get their 30% plus in Freetown, they will get their votes in Port Loko, they will get votes in Gambia, they will get votes in Falaba and Koenadugu, and they will have seats there. That is their calculation. But
okay.
I want to ask them for me then go back and analyze the most recent by-elections since 2018. And made them look at the percentages of the voter turnout in those elections, and made them also look at the percentages where APC score in all of those elections. And then go see why me say SLPP go regret why they ever introduced PR.
Dr. Conte, on a final question on this, not my final question to you, on a final question on the PR system, I mean, Mr. Sef, they struggle for understand how can such a system pass in a parliament when you particularly serious representation of parliament. Other than, yeah, we are being intimidated and etc., there is a a parliamentary process. How come it pass? Break down this thing because there are many concerned public people we also get huge respect for you when they listen to what you say tonight.
No, the question where you ask, another will answer them. The how. Because another parliament.
Yeah, of course. Okay, Dr. Conte, I will respect you. I will respectfully move on, sir, because no need for the go be labor around it where we can get the answer to the question.
But the what I will answer now my opinion about the passage. And I will tell you say it is wrong. I will tell you say they're not follow due process. I will tell you say in the usual power way they bulldoze. And they are setting a very bad precedent for this country.
Okay. Fair enough. Of course, most of una we don't they have a conversation at the chat room. Una can see because we want to make the platform interactive, we do the air una views them now the platform to the live viewer audience globally. Again, because of interactiveness. Except it too extreme, not the only way. But as much as we can accommodate, we've been doing this. But one thing we just come to light is the one we share right now, which is from Mr. Mohammed Parker. And I think this is a young man that I know. He says, please remind Doctor that David Senge won the best minister of education in the world. I'm not going to even go further. Mohammed, you need for stop this. You need for I go out of the way for tell you that you need to stop this. And all those that are promoting this, they've been doing the same thing to the president, best president in the world. Which criteria, which indices could have make us so? The same thing with Dr. Senge. This is provocative. This is cheap propaganda. This is a slur. And need for stop this and let rise up above this miasma, this rubbish, this nonsense. Stop promoting this. I put a name particularly, and I get great respect for you. But if you continue to promote something like this, we're not getting nothing meaningful, then I'm taking back my respect. If you want to take my mind back on the same basis, we will see who wrong from a public perception. But the minister, the best minister of education in the world. Are you serious? Are you kidding us? I need to stop this, man. Please. So, I know say you don't go on with that over and over. Dr. Conteh, when you come towards the end of this program, sir, and we want to say thank you very much for participating. And at all times when we call on you, they come for participate on the program. Have you made recompense with the former head of state, the president, Dr. Ernest Bakoroma? Are you in touch? The reason why I asked this, Dr. Conteh, is because despite this reformation campaign where we see, in recent times, this configuration of political leaders, they begin for see, it seems like the old warden, of which you are definitely a part of because you served during, that period there. Have you got their blessings? Because when you speak, say, Dr. Conte will emerge after the convention as the man, which most people will be looking up to because you are vibrant, outspoken. Have you got the blessing of the old guards?
Every delegate get one vote. And the delegates then get for vote. And once that the delegates then they vote, if they allow a free, fair, and transparent process, I will emerge the winner.
If they allow, who are them, sir? This is my point I was trying to make in the
ITGC. The
ITGC. Who are the components of the ITGC? How the I mean, we don't talk about this before, but for the benefit of people that we don't understand, because the last time I bring you, I'll tell you, say that conversation there, it was a massive hit in our social media. We talk about the TIIEMC. You went in depth. But it seems like there's a process. And this is politics where you understand far better than many of us. So you are kind of hopeful that the issue play out. But what if it doesn't play out and it turn out for be, something else? This is what I'm trying to speak to in practicality and in hypothetical.
We go cross the bridge when we get to
it. Well said, sir. Obviously, we don't touch on many issues because, again, some of the questions they want to ask you is kind of deliberate because you come from the opposition side and you divide for the flag bearership. But nobody strongly have challenged the government on your 11 years in power. Some of it we understand, sir, that you come under immense pressure. Some of it may be excuses, like you get members of parliament. I mean, they are covered by immunity, and I'm not going to ask you, Dr. Conte, for letting you tell me, say, well, me not in a parliament, me don't know that. But we know that, say, they are covered by immunity. So either you take the blow or you don't belong there. This is not my point. So if you get a party for make an argument for, you make that argument and not come and can't tell you constituents them or give them an excuse, say, well, then go jail me or then go disappear me. I reckon you will agree with some of that, Dr. Conte, aren't you, sir?
Well, me not ever hold back my views on issues for fear that anybody go jail me or whatever. Me APC party jail me for 16 days for a crime I not commit. The court they vindicate me. SLPP come they jail me for 4 days for a crime I not commit. The ACC vindicates me. They accuse me for
locks
4 years.
That locks you by virtue of the country who say we come out 16 days and 4 days.
No.
Yeah,
I know one thing I say in a locks you, but sometimes when pussy clean, he clean. When yams white, he white. When your mama mate mark your paper 110, 210, 310, 410, you pass. You must be a good student. So, but congratulate me, small bo. My mama mate mark me paper 410, I pass. If I commend me.
Okay. Yeah. No wonder you are the fans. You are the fans' favorite, Dr. Conte. The final 1 or 2 questions to you, sir. And can I use the opportunity again for thank you very much. I'm really quite impressed that every time we call on you, you are available, and the platform is open to you at any time, regardless of what people may say. Now something where I know you one day you weigh on, but there was a point in time when we be hearing about COP, an alliance, with other opposition party them for, make sure say the matter be your government is not returned to power. Where are we with COP now, Dr. Conte, as much as you understand, sir?
Well, COP that be a very good progressive initiative. We say a number of political parties that come together for pursue a progressive agenda for redeem this country. And I'm glad that me have been part of the COP arrangement, and I been represent my party na COP. So I believed in what the COP stand for. Unfortunately, the LGC, they go through a own set of crises at the moment, and the NGC now be an integral part of the COP arrangement. But I hope say we go able to get over that and be able to reactivate the COP mechanism, because I believe in them, and I think say we need to come together as progressives for begin look at Sierra Leone and how we can work together for a better Sierra Leone.
Okay. I believe say this is my final thoughts to you, sir. Obviously, it's a compounded question, but of course, you always take me because I'm used to that, so you can always take that on board. If in the end, because you don't put so much faith in the delegates, then if in the end, sir, the delegates were to vote the other way, there won't be any arguments on your side, because you already don't express that faith publicly in them. That when they make the decision, as per how you understand, that decision will be respected. B, if they happen for direct the decision towards Dr. Samura, Dr. Mara, Dr. Petito, Kemosise, and others, you will respect that and you will extend a hand out to them. I know you say something like that earlier, but this is specific now, that you will extend an olive branch to them and you will help them, other than what happened in 2018, and you mentioned that as well in this conversation, for Leona come together for take the party to higher heights.
I'm not being contest in 2018.
Yeah, not you particularly, but you see what you
yeah.
play out.
No, I just clarify.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And
thank you.
I will always respect the decision of the delegates. I will respect them. And if they decide for elect somebody other than Richard Conte, I will respect their right for elect the person we, in their opinion, are the best person for lead we against the SLPP.
Okay. And finally, Dr. Conteh is in two parts, and this is the final. Obviously, you must have watched, because as an flag bearer aspirant, the 6th region, the one who don't make the 6th region, we are the UK and I, very, very important. They've been conducting the elections. I think they've conducted the elections, fine elections. In order for win, there should be losers. I wonder how much of that part there you play, how much of it you support, because you're not passing with the in and out of the UK and Ireland, and how you intend for approach, or have you got a base within the question number one. Back up the question, compound, is every time my interviewer asks you this question, how confident are you today that 2023, on the 24th of June, the APC political party supporters, sympathizers, social media bloggers, aspirants go finally see an end to waiting you describe as something where the Sierra Leonean people need a better off, because we see more poverty, we see less in free education as you make the comparison, a less in development, and the living crisis going through the roof, with more people getting caught up in the poverty belt.
The first part of the question, I want to congratulate Sierra Leoneans in the diaspora for where they don't inaugurate or they don't elect the first set of executives for Monday affairs. I know say some people that way not succeed get serious concerns, but I think say largely the process was transparent, and I think say it'll be a good process, and I'll be like the temperament where people there exercise in the conduct of those elections. So I want to say congratulations to all man we win, and to the one that will not win, I want to say in the let we take heart. Elections go for come again another 3 years, and we'll get another opportunity for have a go at it. One of the reasons why even the time where APC get forget for so-called campaign not they worry me, and because SLPP they campaign for we every day. So SLPP they campaign for we every day. And so because they campaign for we every day, we not really need for do anything again. So all we need for do now for prepare for polling day and for the period after polling day. And we'll be fine. They do the campaigning for we. So I'm confident the APC will win come June 24.
Right. Again, Fambulem, we have come to the end of this beautiful conversation. And I say beautiful conversation in many respects, because what we try for Dunaya now touch on many issues. It left for them will not end the issue here. You can go back and watch the tape, or probably if you need to take notes, smart enough for take notes at particular point in time, because you're not go able to watch the entire tape again, but waiting, being critical with what is of interest to you. But when Dr. Richard Conteh speaks, trust me, there is a lot of people that listen. A lot of people. I have no doubt, just like the last video, this video is going to go super, super viral. And there are critical times upon the All People's Congress. Elections is looming. And the cost of living crisis is going to play out. The economy, Dr. Conte addressed them. Political leadership, Dr. Conte addressed them. Waiting critical is, there's been the name Samora Kamara. Dr. Conte deliberately wasn't specific, but if you can go back and left to you for make out of waiting EC. This is important for you, the followers, sympathizers, and members. Dr. Richard Conteh, it's always been a pleasure, sir, and I can assure you that you are a fan favorite of this particular platform. And me as the host, I really do appreciate you, sir, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, Prince.
You're welcome,
and I want
sir.
to just close. I want to just close
sure. Please
stating that I get tremendous respect for Dr. Samora Matthew Wilson Kamara.
Absolutely.
He was my boss for 2 years in the Ministry of Finance before I move on for become Minister of Trade, and eventually Chief of Staff with oversight responsibilities over all MDAs. Waiting to go on now a contest, and in the contest, everybody we feel say get something for offer, get a right for come and put a name forward. And me can one not get anything to do with any other person we come into the race. And I'm running a very fair and balanced race. I'm reaching out to the electorates, I'm reaching out to the delegates, and let the best man win. Let APC triumph. Let Sierra Leone be redeemed.
Let's Sierra Leone, triumph. Let APC triumph. This has been Dr. Richard Conteh, a production alongside with the TNN Media Empire. You've heard him again, and I can assure you say this is not the last. We're going to call upon him again, and the goodness about it is like every time we call upon him, and he's a huge man, he's always ready to answer. This is one good attribute, I must say. I'm not making a campaign pledge for him, but I'm just telling you guys that this is one of the good attributes.
Just continue.
These are one of the good attributes of Dr. Richard Conteh. These are just facts. Dr. Richard Conteh, again, on a more serious note, sir, thank you so much, and I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
To God be all the glory.
Absolutely, sir. That's where it ends. With God, everything else, you're left with him. We get the APC chair lady for North America. I think that's Sister Maria Kamara. She will be on the platform this weekend. Definitely, we need to be talking to people of eminence Remember, say this is not the hub of the conversation. We also get an election expert where they help for conduct the APC lower level regional district election. He will be on the platform the same weekend so we can understand exactly where APC is as they inch slowly and gradually towards, consolidating the convention program. Also, then we will select a flag bearer. We wish everybody well. One last time, Dr. Richard Conteh. Many thanks, sir, and good night. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Until then, this has been a TNN TV Media Empire production. Goodbye.
Happy Valentine.